Job said, my Redeemer, for the people that do know their God shall be strong. He said, my Redeemer liveth. That is, he knows who his Redeemer is. He said, my Redeemer liveth. Others all fail him. All fail him. But you know what he said? My Redeemer. I perceive that Job just whispered this. Regardless of what I see, regardless of what I'm going through, one thing I know is I may not know the day of my deliverance. I may not know when I will be free. I may not know when I will get this desire. I may not know when God will come through for me. But one thing I know is that my Redeemer liveth. He lives. Listen. Unless we make up our mind. You see, I came with a burden in my heart. And I look up and I look down. I look around. And I ask myself question. Do we really know this God we're talking about? Why coming together? Why gathering? If we do, what are the evidence that we truly know God? What are the evidence? What are the evidence? What step have you taken that proves the existence of your own God? For the people that do know, for the man that know his God, he speaks different. His language is different. His walk is different. His character is different. The way he deals with people is different. And the reason is what informed that kind of sacred life, that kind of beauty, that kind of excellence. What informed that is what? Is the knowledge of his God. Is what informed the way he lives his life. Fearless. And to an extent careless. Or rather carefree. For the people, not everybody, the people that do know their God shall be strong. So strength is a product of knowledge. What makes them strong? They are strong in faith. The Bible said Abraham was strong in faith. Abraham was strong in faith. He said Abraham was strong in faith. Why? He knows his God. If Abraham did not know God, how can you walk up to a half-dead man and tell him he's going to have a child? And that man turned around and said, I'm going to have a child and I'm going to call his name Isaac. And you believe why? You see, it sounds as if he's insane. It sounds as if the man, something is wrong with him. But you know what? It's because he knows his God, that his God is able. You know what Abraham said that surprised me? When God said, take Isaac and sacrifice Isaac on Mount Moriah. And after 3 days of joining, he got to Mount Moriah. And then he lay Isaac, he tie Isaac and lay Isaac on the altar. And the Bible says, for he believed that even though he slay Isaac, God is able to bring him back to life. Do you understand that kind of thing? That even that he know, Abraham said that I know that even if I kill Isaac, God is able to bring him back to life. And that knowledge and that understanding of his God was what motivated his action. So you can see that he took such a very strong action. Do you understand? Because he knows his God. What action have you taken? Concerning that business, concerning your life, what action have you taken? What action of faith have you taken? What have you done that will prove to another person that this person knows his God? Unless we prove to the world that we serve a living God, the world will come to our God. Nobody wants to seek the place. Nobody wants to serve a God who doesn't have power. Where it is not happening, unless we prove to the world that our God is able, unless we prove to the world that God has something bigger than the scientists, that God has something bigger than the government, that God has something bigger than the school, God has something bigger than the world can give, until we are able to prove to the world that God has something bigger, they won't come to us unless we prove to them. And you know what? Unless me and you prove to this generation that the God who parted the Red Sea is still alive today, chances are we may lose the next generation. We may have faithless generation. Because why? We have failed to prove to them that the one who parted the Red Sea is still the same God.